Well, I've been in the market for a high camcorder for some time now, and when this one popped up on eBay for under $40, I scooped it up very quickly. These handycams, especially the better quality and working condition high 8 and digital 8 Sony handycams, fetch a fair bit of value, even used. Of course, the minute somebody tries to sell a used camcorder that is in non-working or for parts condition, it sits there for probably up to 3 or 4 months. I just keep seeing it be relisted over and over again, and nobody buys it. I mean, they could practically give the things away and nobody wants them. The seller mentioned this comes with some tapes, the camcorder, the battery, the charger, and a couple of used tapes, which I'm guessing are stored somewhere in one of these pouches anyway. So this is just a nice case it came with, and like I said, I got this for under $40. I think it was $35, and then the shipping brought it up to 40 even, or $41. Let's open this. Okay, that's a bit interesting. They left change in here for some reason. I have no clue why that would be in here. And an empty tape case. I really would like to know why there's change in here. That's kind of peculiar. Okay, so here it is. This is the camcorder itself, which looks to be just the basic info lithium M battery. Let's take a look at the camcorder now. So here's the camcorder itself. It's a Sony CCD-TRV608, and it was one of the better high-8 camcorders, actually the highest end high-8 camcorder that used this particular body style. Sony also made a TRV108 and a 308, which didn't have a couple of features that this camcorder does have. And then they made a digital 8 version of this camcorder, the TRV140, which did record digital 8 tapes, but it couldn't play back the analog high 8 tapes. So I didn't get this to be able to play back my high 8 tapes. I just got it to have a nice working high 8 camcorder. It says 560x digital zoom. Of course, that's of no use to me because it's not optical. It does have 20x optical, night shot switch, and then some stickers here. 15-hour battery life. Of course, that's if you use their super high capacity battery of the time, which is obscenely expensive used and in good condition. Night shot and USB streaming. This was the only high camcorder Sony actually made that has a USB jack, so you can stream video that was recorded from a tape or just live that's captured from a lens straight to your computer. It's of a very low quality. I think it's like 240p, low audio and video bitrate, but it's good for if you got to do something really quickly, or quality really doesn't matter, like in the early days of YouTube. But now with everyone having high resolution screens and things, 240p is not going to cut it. And like I said earlier, this uses the Info Lithium M series of batteries, which are very easy to come by, that actually work. They don't take the harder to find and good and usable condition Info Lithium L series batteries. I've gotten 4 of those batteries that were marketed as working, and every single one of them I got, a couple of them, actually only one of them, was leaking acid, and the other 3 were just totally dead. They wouldn't even accept the charge. And one of them actually had a faulty Info Lithium chip. That's a chip that tells you how much battery life you have remaining in minutes. And so it's, you charge it up, it would say you have a crazy amount of battery life remaining, something in the realm of 530 minutes, and then you start using it for just 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden you get the low battery warning thing that would flash on the screen, the camcorder would shut down. So fortunately, in all those scenarios, I did get my money back and finally did end up getting an Info Lithium L battery that actually works, but I digress. And you can see again, it's a 608. This is the NTSC model, not the PAL version. And a little LCD screen here which tells us the time when it's in operational working condition, the battery life, and when you're charging this, it actually shows you the estimated time that it estimates until the camcorder is fully charged, which is a somewhat neat feature. And then on this side we have the fader control, backlight, focus, and the jog wheel here for those to operate some of those controls. And this just has a the basic Sony power jack, a 2-terminal power jack that just slides into there, and the rubber piece isn't ripped off like on the camcorder I'm recording this with is. If I take this battery off, yep, this is the basic battery it came with, the FM30, only 5 watt-hour battery, so not high capacity by any stretch of the imagination. And we've got the basic tape transport controls, zoom control, and a nice optical viewfinder that slides out. It's nice and big and cushioned. And then over here on this side, it does have a halogen spotlight. It's decently bright. It's not an LED, so everything is a nice bright white. And then here's the lens, 20x optical, 72mm lens with 37mm lens threads, so you can hook this up to a wide angle or telephoto lens or fisheye, anything like that. Lens doesn't look to be scratched, just dusty and dirty. Now we've got a mono microphone here. The Digital 8 model had a stereo microphone, and so it has left and right markings on it. And then the Sony logo, the record indicator, and then behind this black piece of plastic, our single infrared illuminator LED. And I believe the Digital 8 model also had the ability to use an external remote with it, but that IR receiver isn't there. You could just see a circuit board and the two pins. And one last thing I never will understand about these Sony Handycams is why they all seem to have this chronic problem that plagues every high 8 and Digital 8 Handycam that use this sort of hand strap. They start peeling up. It's a fake leather they use that covers up this cushioning. And every single camcorder I've seen, well, nearly every single camcorder I've seen, is peeling. Either this main part of the strap or this fake black, what looks to be fake leather that covers up this piping on the hand strap. This one is actually shredding, and just to give you an example, you use this thing for any extended period of time, you get these black pieces of vinyl or whatever it is all over your hand, and usually when you have this on, yeah, it's peeling up here too. It's not that in bad condition. I've seen some of these where people have ripped the whole strap off and just used just this plain, this part of the strap and gotten rid of this cushion part. And unlike some of Sony's Digital 8 camcorders, you can't actually see the tape compartment, which is a nice thing. We have the record and playback controls, and it has a little green button here that locks it into place. The record button and the battery release over here. And then over here I hope this thing isn't broken. We have S-Video out, AV out. It's not an AV in jack, it's only AV out. And then a DC power plug that supplies a nominal DC voltage to power what was an optional RF modulator. So you could use this with one of those old TV sets that didn't have RCA jacks, but if they had one of those coaxial type connectors or those two spade type connectors, so it was only for cable or antenna TV, over-the-air TV, you could use that RF modulator to watch this over your TV. Okay, so let's turn this on now. You can see the screen. The 608 has the biggest screen in this lineup that use this body style. Strangely enough, the Digital 8 version of this camcorder was more expensive than the high 8 camcorder version, of course. But they used a smaller screen than this, and it had a plastic cut-in that covered up where the larger screen would have fit in this particular model. The TRV608 and 308 also use a smaller screen, so this is the only model that uses this size screen. It's kind of big. It's nice to have such a large screen. And we've got volume controls here. They're not on the edges of the LCD screen like some of the Handycams. Display, end search, exposure, and title. This does do analog titles right on the tape, so you can title everything if you don't have a computer. Easy dubbing, I believe that will work only if you have some sort of proprietary Sony accessory, although I'm not all too sure. The menu button, which has a little guide. Date and time controls, because this is an analog camcorder and can record the date and time straight to the tape. And the counter reset, because it's not a digital tape. It actually is just a dummy counter that keeps track of the tape. It's not captured digitally on the tape. Let's put this on to record mode. It seems this battery is completely dead. Okay, we're turning on now. I tried charging this battery, but it's not accepting a charge. Nice shots on. Let's turn that off. It says there's no tape. Let's go ahead and eject this tape. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Oh. Just shut off for some reason. Let me go ahead and put a tape in there. Okay. Okay, what is going on there? Let's try that again. Oh yeah, that's not good. Let's see if there's something in here. The tape head is spinning, and it just keeps telling us that there's no tape. I don't see anything. Oh, yes I do. That metal piece right down there, that's sitting down there, looks to be broken off. Right there, in the dead center of your screen. Okay, let's... Oh. Okay, so these obviously should not be in a tape compartment in the camcorder. This looks to be some sort of mechanism that goes with the tape transport. Looks like a tape guider. And a random screw, which may or may not be from this camcorder's actual mechanism. Put the tape back in there, see if this will load it now. Alright, it is loading it. And this one's going dead too. Alright, it says the tape is loaded. Let's try recording this before it goes dead. It's actually recording. Oh, no. You've got to be kidding me. C3122 error. I think that means something's wrong with the tape compartment. The actual tape mechanism of the camcorder. It didn't eat the tape, thankfully. Okay, let's try that one more time. Seems to have a little trouble loading, probably because it was trying to close on one of these things. Probably messed up the mechanism a bit. Let's try recording again. So, okay, no. It records for about 4 seconds, and then it probably notices that the take-up reel is not moving, or the supply reel is not moving, and then it just stops to prevent any eating of a tape from taking place. Alright, so it seems there's something seriously wrong with the compartment of this camcorder. That's not good. That really is not good. Okay, so here we are a few hours later, and after contacting the seller and telling them exactly what happened, and actually uploading a part of this video just so they could see it, they did agree to refund my money entirely, less the shipping, of course, which was only $5 to begin with. And they said to just keep everything, did not bother sending it back just for my trouble because they don't even need it or want it. So I did get a couple of tapes, I think. There were tapes, yeah, there are tapes in here, and a few other things which I'll go over in just a moment. But I have at least a camcorder battery. I did try charging and it does work. This is just another one that is going dead. Well, the camcorder battery just went dead in here again, and I don't have any others, so I'm going to have to stop the video and let it charge. But for now, just as a little substitute, let's see what else is in this interesting thing. I was tempted to ask the seller why he left change in here, but I decided against it. Alright, so we've got the pack of 2. Again, you can see there's that black material stuff that gets all over everything from those hand straps. But got 2 new high camcorder tapes. Look to be like they were sold at a retail store at one point in their life. Nothing else in here. Let's see what's here. Wow, the surprises just don't stop. We've got a random mint lying in here. That's peculiar. And it looks like the zipper is broken on this thing. So how that mint actually even got in here or stayed in here, it's kind of amazing. Let's go in here now. Let's see what's in here. Oh, we've got some used camcorder tapes in here. That's always a nice thing. We've got 3. One Sony and a Panasonic, 2 Panasonic high-heat tapes. Looks like there's also another. That's interesting. There's an lithium L battery in here. I have no clue why that would be in here. Unless they were using a different camcorder, but they shipped this, and this wasn't even the original bag or anything that went with this camcorder, but they just threw it in. Kind of interesting. Okay, let's see. We've got a Canon lens cap for no reason. Okay, so we've got the charger and a pencil. Again, the surprises just don't stop. But that should be the last of the surprises. So, now that I've got this camcorder charger, let me go ahead and plug this in so I can do our little test now of this camcorder. And this is a Monoro camera. It doesn't have stereo microphones. It's kind of nice though, holding a camcorder. It's a little bigger than this one. The screen's nice and big actually. On low light. This camcorder has a 0.4 low lux rating. which is the best low lux rating I've ever seen on a consumer level camcorder. And in fact, many new camcorders don't even come close to having a low light rating like that. The focus is responsive and snappy and can focus very close up. My new camcorder, my HD camcorder, can't even focus this close. Got the, I gotta make this hand strap larger. Let's try the halogen light out. It's still a little grainy, but not bad. So let's go ahead and put the volume up and do a little test here of queuing our turntable up. You can see that black stuff's on my hand now.
My guitar and $50 between me and all alone. Found a job that pays okay, but it costs twice as much to stay. So I'll just buy myself a beer and dream of home.
Here we are at my regular desk, my computer desk. I still have the halogen spotlight on and the battery just jumped down to 100 minutes. But it's doing really well. Let me shut this light off. Oh, it actually worked. That works pretty well. If I shut the light off, and it still works pretty well. It's a nice wide-angle lens on this camcorder, which is nice. I don't have to use an external wide-angle lens for that kind of stuff. You can take a look at everything pretty much. Let's switch on night shot. So you can see this just has a single infrared illuminator, but because of its extremely sensitive low lux rating, it does very well. Okay, so time to shut the light off over here now. And even with, wow, you could see the stains in this fabric with the night shot on. Because if I turn the light on and shut the night shot off, you can't see anything. That's kind of interesting. Mark this now. The only light is from this right here. And you can see my stereo all the way over there. Go figure, the music cuts out just as I start recording. Again. Let's try the halogen light and night shot. And it still works really well, but of course it's a killer on battery life, so let me shut the I mean, this is the only light that's coming off, and the screen is actually showing a picture that is brighter than what I'm seeing with my eyes. Let's try night shot again. Yeah, it still works fine. Night shot. You can see that's significantly farther away, and it's still, you can see everything. Let's try with the halogen light. And that does even better. Let's try both of them. With adequate lighting, picture is nice and bright, it's not very grainy. And I gotta fix these stupid blinds. One of these fell out of here. It just doesn't look nice. And that's not gonna work. So this is the camera I usually record my videos with. I just got it open now because I actually switched tapes over to this one that does analog capture from its AV inputs, so I can record, because this tape mechanism doesn't work on this camera. But I can use it as a high quality webcam if I want to use the USB jacks, or I could just use these AV jacks and then run it into my computer's capture card. And nice smooth motion, 30 frames per second, it's got a halogen light, does really well. So we've got just the regular auto exposure effects, picture effect, sepia, mosaic, a couple of others. Digital zoom, that's no use. And 16:9, it does come with different modes for the 16:9. Cinema, which just keeps it as a 4:3 image, but it letterboxes the top and bottom of the 4:3 image, so you actually get even less image to work with. And then 16:9 full, which is true 16:9, and it records an anamorphic 16:9 image into a 4:3 aspect ratio video, so you have to stretch it out either in your video editor or on your TV. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that steady shot is disabled. Yeah, it looks like it's disabled. Disables it in widescreen mode. So we got steady shot, night shot light, and some LCD settings, and record mode. You record in SP or LP, and your tape count, which usually comes on, I think, at the first 5 seconds of power. We've got clock's not set. USB stream, auto date, letter size, demo mode. Oh, there we go, that's the demo. It'd be pretty cool if they let you do titles and things like this built into the camcorder, but of course they don't. And it's simulating what the info lithium battery system works, or how it works. I was really hoping to actually have a working high camcorder, but I guess that won't be the case, at least not right now. At least I've got all the goodies and things that it did come with. Kind of nice. Got the tape, the battery that I think holds a charge at least. I have yet to actually fully charge it, but the only kind of downside of this annoying hand strap, I mean, it's still continued to peel as I'm using it. There's stuff all over the floor. There's whole pieces of this camcorder all over the floor. I don't even know if these came from it or not. There's screws. What's this? Piece of the hand strap. This camcorder's definitely, you could definitely tell this camcorder's been here. So all because of this little mechanism, maybe even some interior damage. Maybe this camcorder was even dropped, who knows. I can't use it as an actual working high camcorder.